It may be early on a Sunday morning as we welcome in Mike Ham for our greetings from the Garden State segment. But, Mike, it's never too early to talk about beer.
That's right, Jim. Time really is a social construct, though. So whether it's early on a Sunday or late on a Saturday, beer is always on the table. It's on the docket. So we went one of my favorite episodes we have ever done, and this episode has held up for a long time. Is our episode with Steve Bauer and Ghost Hawk Brewing Company in Clifton, New Jersey, right across the street from the legendary Ruts Hut, which you and I have talked several times about. Next door to Silk City Distillers, which is right, literally the next door over. And Ghost Talk is a really great place. It's a very community oriented place. Their beers are great. We love them. I'm a big I in a weird nerdy way things that people collect. I collect the beer labels, so like you could peel off some of them, and I have them all in a book. And one day I'll do something with them, but right now they're in a book. And their branding and their artwork and everything I think is some of the best, definitely in the state, if not even beyond that. So Ghost Talk is an awesome place, and if you have never been, you definitely need to check it out.
You mentioned Ruts Hut, and I can't remember which brand of beer that Ghost Hawk has, but they do indicate that it would be perfect to go with a Ripper.
Yeah, so but I mean, personally, their lager, the Ghost Dog lager, always goes good with a Ripper. You grab it from across the street, you bring it over. But I do know that for like the first time ever, Ruts Hut has, because and the one they have beer. Ruts Hut sells beer, and usually like my go-to is like a couple Rippers and a High Life. But recently, for the first time ever, they have a craft beer on tap, and I believe it's the Apex Predator, which is I think an IPA, a double IPA that's on tap at Ruts Hut now, which is one of Ghost Hawk's flagship beers. And that was like a big thing, and just kind of reaching across the street and working with your neighbor. So we love that.
Ghost Hawk Brewing is in Clifton, and as I understand it, they are Passaic County's first full production brewery
Yep.
since Prohibition.
Yeah, which is crazy to think, right? I mean, like, but there's nothing else. And Clifton, it's crazy to me also because living in Bloomfield recently, I've realized how big Clifton is. Clifton is gigantic, and as a town, and there's obviously like a lot of great places in Clifton. I like to consider Clifton maybe the hot dog capital of the world because you got Hot Grill, you got Ruts Hut. I'm sure there's other ones that I'm missing, but there's a couple of the best hot dog places in New Jersey are in Clifton. And but yeah, Clifton is a big place, and Ghost Hawk is a great place as well. And it's definitely been embraced. Like Steve and the crew at Ghost Hawk are such great people. And Ghost Hawk itself, and we can get into it if you want, but Ghost Hawk itself has such a great story, and kind of like the trials and tribulations of life that have gone into that place, and how much the community itself lifted up Ghost Hawk as it started its path and journey through the build out and then finally opening. It's really like a special spot.
Yeah, definitely go into the history of it, Mike.
Yeah, so Ghost Hawk, the name comes from Steve's brother Danny Bauer, who passed away. He had cancer a few years before they opened the brewery. And one thing that Danny always loved was Hawks. He was a big Hawk fan. And so, a few times and Steve tells this story on the episode, but they had gone to I forget the name of the bird sanctuary. There's a bird sanctuary in New Jersey that has birds of prey, so like owls, hawks, eagles, things like that. And it's a sanctuary. So they had gone. They maybe partook in some things that alter your perception of life, and they had a great time. And then after his brother passed, and as he was kind of putting together the concept for the brewery, there was only really one name that he could think of. He wanted it to be something with Hawk, and then in honor of his brother. But then I believe it was 6 months to a year, and the build out took a couple of years, but 6 months to a year into the build out, Steve had a stroke from dealing with all the stress that he had been going through. And it was just such a tough time for him. And then since then, like I mentioned, the community kind of like supporting him and the business and the brewery and everything. And now he's, fully, he's there every single day and working his ass off, and, all the stuff that you have to do to make a business go. And it's just, a testament to not only the community, but Steve as a person, and how those people kind of work together.
We're talking Ghost Hawk Brewing in Clifton. You can check out that story and so much more at greetingsfromthegardenstate.com. Thanks, Mike. Always great catching up with you.
Thanks, Jim.